I wasn't planning to be out that late, but you know how it is. One thing leads to another. I stayed way too long at my buddy's place and ended up leaving just before 2 a.m. The drive back was about an hour, all back roads, nothing but trees and fields the whole way. It was quiet, like dead quiet. No other cars, no houses, just the sound of my tires humming on the pavement. About 20 minutes into the drive, I noticed something weird with my car. It felt like the steering was pulling a little, like the alignment was off. I thought maybe I just imagined it. I was tired, maybe drifting a bit without realizing. I kept going. Then the low tire pressure light came on. I pulled over onto the shoulder, flipped on my hazards, and got out. As soon as I stepped outside, I heard how loud the night was. Crickets, wind through the trees, normal stuff, but it felt way louder when you're standing out there alone. I checked the tires. Sure enough, the back passenger side was low. Not completely flat, but enough that I wasn't going to make it home like that. I popped the trunk to get the spare out. That's when I realized, no flashlight. My phone was nearly dead, and the flashlight was weak as hell, so I had to work fast. I was crouched down, loosening the lug nuts, when I heard something behind me. Not close, just far enough to not be normal, like a branch snapping, way off in the trees. I stood up and looked around, but of course I couldn't see anything. Just black trees and empty road. I told myself it was an animal, and went back to work. I got the tire off, but when I went to grab the spare, it wasn't there. I know for a fact I had a spare. I remember seeing it when I packed stuff in the trunk earlier that week, but now it was gone. I started getting that sick feeling in my gut, that slow realization that something's wrong and you're too far out to get help fast. I slammed the trunk shut and stood there for a second, trying to figure out what to do. That's when I heard the second sound. Footsteps. Not running, not creeping. Just slow, steady footsteps, moving along the edge of the trees. I couldn't see anything. The hazard lights kept flashing, lighting up the road, and then plunging it back into darkness over and over. Flash. Nothing. Dark. Footsteps closer. Flash. Nothing. Dark. Footsteps even closer. I didn't wait to find out who or what it was. I jumped back into the car and slammed the door. I hit the locks and tried starting it, but of course, the engine wouldn't turn over. Just that horrible clicking noise. I sat there, hands shaking, staring into the rearview mirror. I didn't see anything at first. Then, just as the hazards flashed again, I caught it. A person, standing just outside the tree line, facing my car, not moving, just standing there. They were wearing something light, maybe gray or dirty white, and they were barefoot. I could see their feet clearly, even from that distance. The worst part, their head was tilted sideways, like they were trying to listen, like they were waiting to hear if I was going to get out. I stayed frozen, barely breathing. I didn't dare turn the engine over again. I just sat there, watching them through the mirror. After a few minutes, they slowly started walking toward the car. Not running, not rushing. Just a slow, steady walk, like they had all the time in the world. I didn't think. I threw the car into neutral, jumped out, and started pushing it backwards down the slight hill. Once I picked up a little speed, I hopped back in and steered, rolling backwards blind. I didn't look to see where that person was. I didn't want to know. Eventually, I hit a flat spot and coasted far enough that I couldn't see the figure anymore. When the car finally stopped rolling, I sat there trying to breathe, trying to figure out what to do. A few minutes later, headlights appeared way down the road. Another car, finally. I threw myself into the middle of the road, waving my arms like a lunatic. They stopped, and I told them everything, probably not even making sense. They let me call for a tow truck and stayed with me until it came. I asked them if they saw anyone back there when they picked me up. They said no, but when the tow truck driver checked my car, he found something scratched into the side panel under the trunk. It was just one word: listen.